Hello, Goddess, and welcome to this week's Twin Flame Tuesday, which I am recording this on Sunday, where I know I'm finding myself in a space of the physical distance, feeling as though we may as well be on different planets, right? According to the ego, he feels so far away, as equal as he is distant in his communication. But that's the ego. The soul. The soul, she knows that he's always there. He's a part of her. And that this solemn state of being is temporary. That it'll pass. And so will this physical perspective, this physical experience, currently as it is, feeling as though he's so far away. It's about coming into that soul space and feeling whatever it is you desire to be coming into union with, if it's of course your divine counterpart, or if it's any other vision that you desire. You have to experience the union, the uniting of that vision within yourself, meaning to feel as though it already is. Embody what it feels when he's with you. Embody what it feels like when you're living your dreams. This is how we facilitate the shift out of moving in to these lower vibrational states. Yes, allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to see what it is that is inspiring you to feel the way that you are, so that you can heal that and shift that and reframe that, and then step into the version of yourself that believes what you do desire, rather than believing and focusing on what you do not. And this especially goes for all the things in your twin flame connection that you feel are not as you'd like them to be, especially when you're in that wounded space and everything hurts. And you say things and you feel things that you wish you didn't have the reference to say them. This is the healing journey. This is the healing twin flames self-love empowerment journey. It is healing yourself, healing this connection, while looking for and finding your power every step along the way, so you can be rising and thriving. That is what empowerment experiences is all about. It's been my journey, and it's still my journey. You've heard me possibly say before, and I'm sure you'll hear me say it again, I didn't even believe in twin flames. I believed in them only to the extent that a twin flame was synonymous of self-love, period. That was the encompassment. And I just got 417 on my timer here, so we're definitely going to we're going to look at that here, because it's an important number in my experience. So when it pops up, there's obviously a message for us. So 417. In fact, that's where we're going from, wherever it was we were, because I totally lost where we were, because we're going where we're going. And that right there is a lesson, Goddess. We tend to chase the things in the past when we've already moved past it. And we're actually causing ourselves to miss out on the present, feeling good in the present, aligning with what's to come, choosing what is coming, choosing what we're feeling right now instead of letting what is already past to dictate how we feel. He's gone. I wish I hadn't have said that. I wish I hadn't have done that. I wish this didn't happen. All right, let's do this. Angel number 417 we have. Oh, I don't have the down. What? Wait, what? I am actually intrigued. My square is not in my... What? I don't have a square for that yet. I am actually very blown away. So let's just have a look-see, because 417 is the date of transition of my very first kitty baby. I say baby, but he was 4 when he picked me at the pound 2 weeks after I moved out here to the state of Arizona from Kansas. I decided one day, and 4 days later, I was here. So it really is no surprise that I just want to up and go around the world, or that I just up and decided I was going to go to India, and 3 months later I was there and back. So let's just see here. 417 angel number. We have, oh my goodness, it is your time to shine. You will seal that deal you were nervous about. You will pass that test. This is your moment. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is your moment. And see, that brings me to feeling inspired to tell you that it is always darkest before the dawn. The energy of failure so often precedes that of success, because it is that final clearing of all the shit that has been standing in the way of allowing that to come in. And this includes union with your twin. This includes even communication with your twin. But you have to be the one to be clearing all of this out and allowing yourself. Now here's the other side of this message, is you have to allow yourself to know that this is your moment. You have to allow yourself to receive this as your moment, that now it is your turn. The times that you have said, when is it my turn? I thought it was finally my turn. And I'm saying this because I myself have said this, right? Especially with what's happened the last almost 2 years, right? We end up in that space of going, wait a minute, I had plans. I have a life to live. I'm not scared of death. I want to live my life. That's how I've been. Let me live my life. It is a risk of death to just be alive. So let me live my life to the depth that I choose. And if anybody's scared, then you stay home and you stay scared, because technically you can die just as easily at home in an accident that you can anywhere. So really, it's allowing the ego fear of death to control you, instead of, freeing yourself from those constraints, from that prison, and allowing your soul to fully expand and experience this adventure that it's signed up for here, to really shine in this world as you have come for. It is a bearer of good news when it comes to matters of the heart. And it says to work with your partner to overcome the challenges in your connection. And dear Goddess, that again is about your connection. It's about being able to look at the mirroring. What is he mirroring to you? And then what can you do as your role in this connection to shift that within yourself, so it then starts to be mirrored in him. The shift in you begins to be mirrored in the shifting in him. So that is how we impact and influence this connection, because you're no longer putting out that point of attraction. You've shifted it. So he then mirrors what you've shifted back to you. That is where you are actually being called to work on your relationship with your counterpart, with your divine masculine right now, is in the 5D. And that is energetically. I love that little rhyme there. That's really, everything else is just like, Begin paying attention to things that matter and what is working in your life. And the reason for that is because what you focus on is what expands. What you feed is what grows. And so the more you focus on and thus tune your frequency to the state of vibration that feels good, the state of vibration that is gratitude for the abundance that's in your life, well then of course more abundance is going to come to you. And this also goes for your counterpart. The more you actually shift back into that space of appreciation and gratitude for your counterpart, for all the ways that he has cracked you all the fucking way open and ripped your insides out, in the sense of really showing you all the places where the boogeymen were hiding, right? All the sabotages, all the unworthiness, all the self-loathing, all the undermining yourself, unworthiness, not enoughness, abandonment, rejection, all of these things that he has carved you out fully and completely so that nothing else is hidden from you. Now it's time to clean up that mess, so to speak. It's time to be healing all of that and releasing it, letting it go, decluttering, creating space for all this new and amazing to flow in, especially that physical harmonious union with your divine counterpart. That was a really wonderful, very much needed message right there. I intend it was the same for you, because wow, like I said, I feel that, Goddess, I feel that ego space where he feels so far away. But just in, channeling all of that and downloading all of that for all of us, I already feel so much better. And that's, again, the point of that, is that when you're feeling down, when you're feeling sluggish, exhausted, discouraged, it's temporary. Allow yourself to even believe such things as, oh, this is just the hangover space of after having an amazing time, everything is well with the world, everything's amazing, I'm just drained. This is my drained space. And so I'm just being restored currently. That's why I feel sluggish. That's why I feel run down. That's why I feel discouraged. It's because I used all my encouraged last night at the party, so to speak, right? Because we get so excited when things start to really go in that direction. And I've got this, I am in my power. And then you celebrate and then you exert a lot of energy. And then next thing you know, oh, I'm and that leads so often to the space of feeling helpless and hopeless. And, well, again, start to recognize that's temporary, and bit by bit you can pivot it. That said, let us see for this Twin Flame Tuesday what message or messages there is further for us than what we have received thus far with regard to all that we have already discussed. Oh my goodness, that was quite a bit. 417 we already have for a number without even realizing. And that's it too. That would be the other reason why you feel tired. It's that growing pains. It's no different than a child who is going through a growth spurt. So often they experience more exhaustion. They're more tired. They take a longer, deeper nap because growing pains is a thing. You are expanding, and that's fucking exhausting, especially in this very dense third dimensional physical realm. And this is why the power of self-love is so powerful in this realm, yet it is one of the biggest things that we have not been taught to cultivate. That's why there are so many light warriors like myself out in this world doing what we're doing, is to guide you all through breaking these cycles, because we ourselves have known these cycles all too well in our own lives, growing up in situations that taught us certainly not self-love, but actually quite the contrary, self-loathing. Talk about It's like here, the middle ground is just, no, you're not cultivating self-love, but when you're actually cultivating self-loathing, you're here beneath the surface, right? Like here's again, and this is self-love is raised up, and self-loathing is below the middle line. So you have all of this to dig your way out of, so to speak, and then cultivate that garden. So down here, this is the cleaning of the garden. This is the clearing of the trash and the muck and the mold and all of the diseased dirt that has been being littered in your garden. So you have to clean all that out, and then you have finally dirt that you can start to plant things in. Then you cultivate the garden and it raises up. So you see, this is the beneath the layers. These are those cycles that are keeping you in that self-sabotage, self-destructive space that end up grabbing you and sucking you down when you're in this state of exhaustion, and you start to feed into the bullshit stories of he doesn't want me, he never wanted me, he just lied to me, he just used me, he really meant that what he said, he never meant any of the good stuff, he only meant the bad stuff. When you fall into that trap, that self-sabotaging twin flame trap of beating yourself up with all the crap that he said from his space of self-loathing and lack of self-worth and his angry place, his pain space, right? Those are the cycles. It's time to expand out of those cycles, and that's where we are. That's, with last week, last week it's already, oh my goodness. With last week and the baby snake, stopping by for a visit and letting us know that this is where we are, is in this expansion space, this stepping into your new version, this really, truly, finally, once and for all breaking these cycles. And when they reappear to rehash old times, you say, no, I don't have time for you. I spent enough time at your party and I don't like your drugs. Right? I don't like the drugs of feeling depressed and miserable and worthless and hopeless. That's not a good buzz. I want to be high, not low. I want to be high, so high. Oh my goodness, who'd have thought where we'd go today? This said, that's the point though, is you are here to be high on life, goddess. You are here to love your life. If you loathe your life, if you are in more spaces where you feel bad about what's going on in your life, that is the experience you are creating for yourself, and that is not in alignment with union with your twin. This brings us back to the beginning message here, is that you have to be embodying, you have to be feeling that energetic state of what you will feel when you are in physical harmonious union with your twin, when you are in union with any of your desired manifestations. And you have to be in that. And that means to let go of the limiting spaces, let go of the cycles and patterns that keep you small, that keep you out of alignment with what you desire. The only one who ever stops you from what you desire is you. So to breaking these cycles, where I'm not even sure what the question is, but I feel like there's something more to this cycles, what cycles are we breaking? Not allowing yourself to have an imagination, not allowing yourself to dream bigger, continuing to play it small, continuing to think about how it's going to happen, and that keeps you stuck in the tiniest of boxes. Remember, nobody puts baby in a corner. It's time for you to get up on that stage and shine, sister. That means you've got to envision what that stage is, the stage of your life. That is exactly what you are creating here. You are not at the mercy of life. It just feels like it because the subconscious patterns are being mirrored to you in your external environment. So the beliefs that you have about yourself and your life is exactly the experience that you continue to live. But these are these cycles and patterns that we are breaking. So in order to do that, in order to envision something different, you have to envision something different, completely different. When you watch a movie or you look at, travel vlogs or anything like that, and you say, oh, I wish, put that down. Not just I wish, be like, I have that. I'm living that. I choose that for me. So be it, so it is. And start to feel it, embody it, visualize it, align with it, and thus receive it. You, in order to really break these cycles, that's the key, is that you don't just stop watering those weeds, but you are actively cultivating the garden. And that is to be stepping out of your comfort zone. That is to be actually putting into practice these shifts, these changes within yourself, and stepping into this. Such as myself, I just started learning Hindi. Oh, I'm so excited. And I missed my lesson yesterday, and I'm like, oh man. So I'm finishing this, and then I'm going to be going and spending a little bit of time on my Hindi lesson for today. Because in my vision, I'm spending a lot of time in India, that's for sure. It's just where my soul calls me. I have days where my ego's like, what the fuck are we gonna do there? I mean, yeah, we can go there and do that, but like, why? Like, what? Or what? And I'm like, just shut up. I just know we need to go. It calls me. I need to go. And I see the vision of how amazing it feels, and even by myself, and experiencing the temples and the culture and how it felt when I was there the first time, outside of being with my twin flame, and just feeling like the earth beneath my feet was so familiar. On the other side of the world. And I didn't have that same feeling when I went south of the border in high school. Could be because I was in a different place, who knows? I just know I went to the other side of the world and I felt at home. And it calls me. It calls to me. One day maybe it'll make sense. But until then, it is imagining, envisioning a new reality, and then allowing your intuition to guide you. See, exactly that. Just as I said, I have no clue. All I know is I'm supposed to. Because you see, we don't need to know everything. The soul just follows what it's led, what it's guided to, what calls it. The ego wants to stay behind the wall in its imaginary space of safety, afraid of living all this incredible world to live and experience that's outside of those walls. But again, in order to get to where you want to go, to the places and spaces you've never been, you kind of need that guidance, and that is what your intuition is for. Your intuition is there and will guide you into this new vision that you desire for yourself, for your counterpart. And that's why, as we talked about in Super Science Sunday, about this need for separation, is because of this expansion, is because of this breaking of cycles, is so that each of the counterparts can be stepping into fully these next and new, greater, more empowered versions of themselves that must be embraced outside of the connection. Without the direct influence of each other within the connection, it needs to be this independent, energetic space. We're always connected at the 5D. And that is the other thing that this time is teaching us, is that in me and through me, you're always with me. And that we signed up for us each to fulfill what we each have come to fulfill. And through this, do we come together to fulfill that which we have both come to fulfill together. but we don't know exactly what that path looks like. You just need to follow the path that feels good, the path that's calling you, goddess, the path that feels expansive, the path that allows you to step out of that old version of yourself, using this discernment through connecting with, how does it feel? Does this feel good? Does this feel not so good? Does this feel more in alignment or less in alignment? Does this feel in flow? Really tapping into that discernment with the support of your intuition to guide you into this newfound reality that you are creating. And of course, as you've heard me mention before, it is your responsibility to yourself to create your vision for your life that is absolutely zero dependent upon anything outside of your life. What do you desire to feel? What do you desire to experience? And by dependent upon anything outside of your life, I really particularly mean those ego attachments to people. And this includes your counterpart. Yes, of course you want this vision with them. However, you must find yourself lit up about a vision that feels amazing, that is you fully in yours, and that when he comes into the picture, it amplifies this vision. It makes it, here it is 100 watt. Him coming in makes it 1,000,000 watt. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, this 100 watt, 1,000 watt, like get better. This brilliant life that you're already living is amazing and wonderful and divine in and of itself, that you are not dependent upon his presence, his physical presence, in order for your life to be incredible. And this means that you've got to be practicing through your discernment, tuning into what feels good, following the path that feels good, what lights you up, because that is what is illuminating you. That is what is driving you. Okay? And that is also the thing that will, in divine timing, bring him back, where your bat signal will be so undeniably brilliant that he could not resist its message, could not resist its calling, and he will come. And that day will be so fucking glorious that you'll be grateful that you let go, that you'll be grateful that you stopped pining over him and focusing on him not being there, because you're living your life so amazing that what would make it, what is the icing? What is the cherry on top of the cake? Not even the icing, the cherry on top of that cake would be him all of a sudden appearing out of the blue, wouldn't it? Saying, I've always loved you. I'm so proud of you. Look at how far you've come. Look at how amazing you are doing in your life. And I'm doing pretty amazing too. And I come to realize that there's just one thing that was missing. Not that you were, but it was you. It's always been you. And then we stroll off into the sunset together, and we build an even greater dream, an even greater vision than we each had built independently. This is that path. This is why it's so important to let go and to hold that space for your ego as she tries so hard to hold on to him. But assure her, say, it's okay, baby girl, it's okay. Because you see, guess what? This is the way we've got to go. We've got to let go, so that then when we least expect it, imagine how wonderful it's going to feel. When you are living your life, you're so happy, life's so perfect. And before you have a moment to think, there's just one thing missing, there he appears. And it makes everything more perfect than you ever thought it could have been. But it can't be that way if you continue to hold on to him in the way that he is now, through the way that you are now. There's something so much better waiting for you, for both of you. So come this way, follow this path, and I promise you, you'll be so grateful. So grateful that you did. Whew. Well, that was fun. And in that space, I definitely, how amazing would that be, huh, Goddess? Why not keep that story? Because in the realm of possibility, all things are possible. And that anything, any blocks that come up along that way of, oh, I'll be too old then, it won't be as much fun then, it won't be, all that's doing is keeping you away from that happening. All that's doing is keeping him away from coming home to you. Because you are not letting you come home to you into your own power of knowing that, oh, it already is. That's exactly the path I am supposed to take. To focus on me and find my bliss. And then here he comes. And he amplifies all of that. And we expand that bliss into this world. Yeah. Yeah. So embrace this time apart. Know that this is time of preparation. All right, this is preparation time for both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. You guys have been training for this for lifetimes. You really have been. All right, this is the time of reawakening more and more of the individual parts within you that are going to become amplified when you come back together. This is part of that journey. This is part of that process. So it's time to really be, again, breathing through that ego space, taking the breaks when you need them, again, breathing through that ego space when it becomes overwhelming to you and you're exhausted, you're tired. Allow yourself that break, even if that break is to simply take a step outside and just breathe. It's amazing what 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, see, and a yawn is for breathing. Oh my goodness, it's getting that oxygen, really amplifying this need to be breathing deeply and, taking in that oxygen, getting that air within you, because oxygen is so important. Breath has power. And to breathe intentionally, right? To breathe in the light, breathe out the dark, breathe out the stress, breathe in the love, breathe out the concern and the doubt and the worry, right? Be intentional about that. Recognize that this is you expanding. This is you making your way along this journey of ascension. And the further along you go, the more you are going to find yourself being drawn back to your counterpart, and you will feel him more and more and more as well within you too. So raise your vibration, dance, sing, laugh. That is what ascension is. It's raising you up. It's lifting you up. And that is exactly what you got to do when you are in this discouraged, hopeless kind of space, is begin to shift that perspective within you. Ask for that help. Ask for that guidance. That's definitely something that helps me, is when I start to feel discouraged, I start to feel that disconnect, is when I start to say, okay, universe, I know I'm supposed to be asking for your help. Please show me a sign, something, anything, to know that at least his higher self is there, even though his lower self is so not present. That said, I am very intrigued to know, as it has been going lately, with the divine masculine having something to say, just as we just had a moment ago, obviously channeling from the divine masculine. That was fun, very much so. And that's why he is definitely immersing himself in work. That is what the masculine is very inclined to do, is to be focused on being that provider, to be able to bring something. However, bringing something by definition of the matrix world, the third dimension world, without recognizing that his love, his unconditional source love that flows through him and to you is all you want, all you desire from him. It's more than enough. But because of the programs that he is working through right now of feeling less than, unless he has something in the bank to show, unless he can show that he is a successful business person, is stable in his career, that which is perceived to be doing the right thing or taking the right path in the matrix. So he's very much still going through the motions in this matrix space, while at the same time he is working through this these cycles. He is working through and breaking these cycles for himself as well, but he has to experience them in order to know how to change them within himself, in order to understand why he wants to change them. What about them are not working? Because we are here to rewrite these templates in this world as we are creating this new earth rising. So that said, we are asking if there is anything more the divine masculine would like to share with us in communication, being that in the physical world, most likely our DMs are not in physical communication with us, and we are taking, as divine feminines, our power back and choosing to no longer dish out energy that isn't being reciprocated. And this means no more sending messages that he's not reading. I mean, he may be reading them. But no more sending messages that he doesn't reply to. He doesn't return energy. Let him have his space and you have yours. You keep that energy for yourself to focus on what you are being called to focus on. This is exactly what he's doing. This is why he doesn't reply to you. Because he's being led to keep it to himself. Because you, dear goddess, are being asked to level up and keep it to yourself. Just for now. Remember, this is temporary. This is temporary. So that said, divine masculine, wow, do you have any last words for us? He is on his journey of enlightenment. He is becoming more and more enlightened to this connection, enlightened to his powers within himself. He is beginning to really recognize the energy, the connection between the two of you, the energy connection that he has with this world and the influence that he has over this world. But again, all of this can only be revealed through firsthand learning. Remember, words don't teach. Only life experience gives understanding, just as you, dear sweet goddess, are being asked to love him unconditionally wherever he is in his journey. But even more so, to love you unconditionally, that you stop keeping yourself in your own perpetuated trap of being obsessed with him and focusing your energy on him. He's doing this for himself. Right now, the only energy you send him is when you are genuinely in that authentic, unconditional love space within yourself, and you are expanding that love from within yourself. You send that love to him. Send that love to him. That's it. It's time to break the cycles of sending your anger and your frustration and, you're sick of it kind of shit to him. Because he's taking his sweet ass time. He's not replying to you. He's not doing what you want him to do. Hello, ego. Remember, that's not how you impact and influence the connection. You can't do it from the ego. You have to do it from the soul, which means you have to be walking that walk. You have to be in that energy. It's not, I make you do what I want you to do, but I'm not going to shift into that space personally. I want you to love me, but I'm not going to really love me. That's your job. No. This is the point, yet again, of recognizing this twin flame journey is a self-love empowerment journey, because your twin flame cannot love you more than yourself. Just as you cannot truly love him more than yourself. Otherwise, most likely, the love that you feel for him to the capacity that you do, there are conditions to it, such as, you're not replying to me. You need to reply to me. You need to say something to me. That's a condition. You see? And I assure you, you have conditions of love placed upon yourself. And this is why you have conditions of love placed upon your counterpart. The thing is when you love yourself to the truest depths of you, then you don't have a need for someone else to fill any gaps within you, because you have filled those gaps. And that is the very thing that is going to attract him to you. Again, it is putting out that vibration, that frequency, that energy. So you are very much being asked by the Divine Masculine to work on your energy, goddess. What you're putting out is repelling him. And what drew him to you to begin with was your energy, was this enlightened part of you. But again, just as the twin flame connection does, right? All of your shit got let loose. So now there's this shit storm that's been going on inside you since y'all met, this whole activation space. And so whereas you thought you were all peace and calm on smooth waters, smooth sailing, oh, here comes the twin flame storm. And it's like a Cat 10 freaking hurricane, okay? Just saying. Isn't it? And it just really threw you off your game, made you question everything. But that's what a twin flame connection does. That's the path to enlightenment, is that you question everything. You gain a deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper understanding, more and more and more and more expanded. And then because you're able to break these cycles as you shift these perspectives, as you take in this information, as you gain this deeper depth of understanding. So this is the path that you both are on. And he is, again, learning finally to work with his own energy and recognize the effect that he has on his world. Bit by bit, he's starting to see this. He's bit by bit becoming enlightened. He is experiencing successes in his life that I assure you he thinks about telling you, but then he's held back. All right. Oh, wow. And just as for Super Science Sunday, acceptance and freedom cards again. This is so much where the Divine Masculine is. It is that acceptance of who he is, acceptance of this connection, while at the same time wondering and clarifying for himself what role this connection plays in his freedom, how he can be in this mind-blowing, intense connection with someone but still be free, not feel trapped, because right now he feels so trapped in his physical 3D life that he's not fully correlating the twin flame journey, the twin flame connection, with that of freedom, the unconditional love, the ebb and the flow, the dance between the two counterparts, that I love you, you love me, but I do not control you and you do not control me. It is not like the world that you have grown up in, and it's not like the world that you have come to accept as being reality. It is not what reality is. Reality is about you creating it. It is you breaking free from the way of the old and creating the new. It's why you're here. It's why you've come through. You are part of the new earth rising. And that, for the Divine Masculine, so much is processing through him right now. And while, yes, he is experiencing these successes in his career, in his business, he's doing really good. He is stepping more and more into his power in that way. Again, breaking these cycles of starting to see, yes, I can be successful, and I can begin to embrace my worth in myself and create better boundaries with my success, in the sense of, the more I work, the more I earn. Learning to recognize the energetics of money, the energetics of work, the energetics of give and receive versus taking, eliminating taking completely out of that experience and getting more into that feminine energy of give and receive. Because give and receive is a flow. You give and you receive. You give and you receive. Whereas take is very blunt. It's like taking, done. Right? It's a very abrupt energy. So you want to be in this give and receive. And in order to really be expanding into this give and receive space, it has to begin with you giving and receiving to and from yourself. Allowing yourself to envision the new reality. Allowing yourself to expand into this next version of yourself, to feel good. To let yourself dream limitless. Because I assure you, your counterpart, he does to himself. He doesn't speak much about this freedom anymore because he's processing through the parts of himself that feel like he'll never know what that's like, because right now it is all about work. It's constantly. He barely has a moment to himself. And when he does, it's when he's lying in bed alone at night, wishing for something different. Longing for the life of freedom that you talked about, that you dreamed about together, that you planned to create for yourselves before you ever incarnated in this world, because you knew you could, because you knew you had been training for this life, for lifetimes, that you have the power within you, you possess the capacity to expand into creating any life you desire. So we had 417. Let's see if we have any more important, powerful angel numbers to come through this time. I'm telling you what. Ooh, 999, and that is like the one, aside from 417, 999, which 999 is very much the breaking of cycles, the closing out of cycles. Let me get us, I have 999, and I do have that square. End of a phase, again, end of cycles, endings. Twin flame stage ending. Okay, new beginnings on the way, and that's very much what I have been feeling in the past couple days. Is this. Remember, the energy of failure often precedes that of success, so it's going to feel as though it's completely lost, it's gone. But what that is the releasing of the old energy, the old way that it was, to create space for new to come in. This is the turning point. Time to tie up these loose ends. Again, closing out timelines, closing cycles. Trust the universe is in process of guiding you into your soul purpose and twin flame mission. Your intuition, that imagination. Again, allowing yourself to see a vision completely unlike anything you've ever known before. Clarify your goals to better align with achieving them. And then know that you are abundantly blessed with goodness, love, gentleness, mercy, discipline, faith, and peace. So 999 and 417, and you are right now closing out cycles, both of you. Right? So as you're feeling as though he's so far away, remind yourself that he is always with you. He's always in you. And that you both agree to come into this world individually, to come together collectively. But this precipitates this. And this is necessary. And what is happening here is necessary for this to be aligned and amazing. And this is where we are, closing out these cycles. All right. That said, dear Goddess, that wraps us up for this week's Twin Flame Tuesday. Tune into that freedom energy. All of a sudden, tune into the freedom, what it feels to be free, free of the prison of your own mind, free of the beliefs, free of the obligations that you perceive that you have, completely free to be whomever you would like to be. That is the energy that your counterpart is reaching for. That's what he's longing for. So be that energy for him to be drawn to you. Okay? That said, dear Goddess, I'm here for you. There are a few different links down below in the description for ways I can serve you. I have some exciting announcements coming. I've been kind of biting my tongue about them. Just, oh my God, just exciting. One thing is I have changed some things up for my mentorship group. I wanted to make it really, again, as simple and easy as possible for goddesses out there to have access to pretty much all things that I utilize and implement and know and understand about this journey. Create an all-access pass instead, wherein we do have Zoom group sessions, but you also have access to other group experiences, such as the goddess parties included, and maybe even access to some of my video courses. So that is what this all-access pass is going to be about. You do get a 2-week free trial when you sign up. So you can try it out, plan it out for a week where we are going to have a Zoom group session, so you can come and experience that. This next week, my intention was to be doing a Manifesting Moon live group session. However, that's on me. I have not really been marketing it that much. I have been marketing the party that's coming this Saturday, so be sure to come join us there. Excuse me. Like I said, my all access pass, which you can check it out at empowermentexperiences.com/EWR, and you can see all the things that it includes, at what point the video courses get unlocked, where you have access to those as well, so that you really can be becoming empowered with Rochelle. So I'm really, really, really stoked about this. Finally, this. It's just been, again, some navigating, some clarifying and reclarifying and feeling into it and going, no, not quite that. There's something that's still not in tweaking, and this is it. The all access pass. The all access pass. And of course, for 6 and 12-month investments, you do get bonuses such as custom affirmation stations. There's something else on that list. Go check out the website. That's what I'm telling you. It's all on there. I'm a little, it's Sunday. I'm a little slow today. And this was such an amazing message that I'm just kind of basking in it as well. I needed to hear that from the DM. I'm sure many of you did as well. And, yeah. That said, Goddess, I am truly, truly grateful for you. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and did you know that when you comment, even just a comment, like a signature emoji signature, like I do, I actually have 3 different emojis that I've just drawn to that I usually comment all the time if I'm not sure, if I don't have something specifically to say, but I want to support the creator or just acknowledge that I was there or send some good energy, I'll drop these 3 little emojis. And that very much helps these messages to reach a broader audience, to get to who they are supposed to get to. So you are contributing to the ripple effect of these messages when you comment on these videos. And so that said, I will definitely reply back. I love to acknowledge comments. And of course, any aha moment, anything that comes up for you, if you have any questions that you have for me, by all means, feel free to drop those in the comments and I will make a video in reply, unless it's something that's a 1 or 2 sentence answer. However, I can usually expand on things for 10 to 20 minutes. So that said, I appreciate you, dear Goddess. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this empowerment journey message, or this empowerment message journey here. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Be sure to check out my new affirmation station videos that are starting to be published. What? I got my twin flame affirmations. I will link that as the next video for you here on the screen. And you can check those out. You obviously replace my twin flame's name with yours. And I do create custom affirmation stations. So like I said, check those out. And I am getting better and better and better at learning my equipment. So they are improving more and more and more, which means with time, the price most likely will go up. That said, dear Goddess, for the last time I'm saying that said, that was the last time. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. And I remind you that the power is in your hands. It really, truly is. I assure you, because it has always, always been inside you. Namaste.